Hi, Dr. Mary here. Today, I was talking to a client and someone I've been really close with off and on over many years. And as we were dealing with a situation where I became aware of this intense, fear and anxiety that was residing around her and within her. And I had done a clearing where this all showed up, like 4 disruptions of consciousness in the root chakra, which is the foundation and the connection to existence, security, safety, a position of comfort that you have a place on earth. And here were these 4 levels of interference that were all about fear and anxiety, and one of anger and rage. And, I'm looking at this and thinking about it. And we go through a whole conversation. We have a wonderful time communicating with each other. And suddenly it comes to me, when was it in my life that I was experiencing extreme levels of fear and anxiety where I didn't want to go outside? And I actually had kind of a fear of leaving my apartment and going out on the street, even though I had a big dog who, of course, really wanted to go out. And I thought about that time and what had happened. And so I said to her, in the times when I had this extreme fear and anxiety, and this would be, earlier in life, childhood and so forth, but especially as a, young adult in my 20s and in my 30s. But this was occurring in my 20s where I was looking at, what's going on here? And what I was doing was I was really intensely loving fiction that was about serial killers and torture, with these twisted crimes, where an investigator would go in and be trying to figure it out, and you have all those dynamics. So I was doing that. And then also on television, which was what it was at the time, watching, similar types of programming. So for whatever reason, but this is how spirit and the guides work. For whatever reason, that came to me, and I told her that I used to experience this, and this is what was going on. And she was like, oh my God, I'm totally addicted to crime shows. And she was mentioning to me 2020 and Dateline, and I have some familiarity with these things, with these particular programs. But I asked her specifically, because it's been a long time since I've tuned into that kind of programming. And she explained it to me and what it was. And so we were having a parallel experience where she recognized what she was doing was what I was doing at the time, that I was really, paranoid and afraid of going out. And what occurred to me at the time, I think at this point I was maybe 21 years old, and thinking about what was happening to me and what I was doing, that interaction, I realized that this was contributing to my fear, and I was surrounding my entertainment energy with this psychodrama of the dregs of the earth. And if you work with me, you know that I work with the map of the scale of consciousness. And there's a real divider in this map between life enhancing and life draining. And so that type of programming is life draining and stimulates fear and anxiety. So I then eliminated that from my experience, like what I was taking in. And then I had that fearlessness, and like, of course I'm going out to do this, and of course I'm going out to do that. And I wasn't afraid anymore because I wasn't feeding my experience of the outer world with the most base horrors of human existence. Like, you know, if that's not what's happening in your present, don't bring it on. You know, and I'm kind of hoping, because it's very addictive, this type of programming. It's very exciting, it's intoxicating, and it you know, takes you off into the demonic realms, the negative realms, and from a perspective that you might be thinking you're going to, you know, overcome it or gain from it, and so forth. And it depends on your role. You have whatever role you have. You choose, you know, what's right for you. And for me, not so much, you know, not to go there. And just simply by changing the focus of what entertained me in my free time, a dramatic release of unwarranted fear and anxiety fell away. So yeah, you could try it.